Here we go again, it's no surprise. Cause we know better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5 if you want more than to stay alive. So come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. We stay up until the morning light, the morning light falls. So come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Just Us Girls. I am so excited. I'm so happy that you have joined us, and I'm just going to introduce, the lovely girls. Hey, Lawanda. Hey, Dree. How is everyone doing today? I'm telling you, we have a wonderful, wonderful session again on tonight. You guys are going to enjoy this. So as usual, get everybody, get the dog, get the cat, get everybody in, the bugs, bring everybody in. We are going to talk to you about dating. Yes, we're going to talk about it again in part 2. And we have some great tips for you. We have some great information we want to share with you. So without any further ado, let's jump right on in. Okay, dating. This is good, ladies. It's good stuff. I know you guys want to make Mr. Perfect, but there's no such thing. You want to make Mrs. Perfect, but there's no such thing. I'm telling you straight up right now. However, in the process of you, finding that person and finding, if you gel with each other, what have you, there's a process that you have to go through. And that process, of course, is called dating. So we're going to give you some tips tonight as to where to go. And we're going to tell you how you can go about having a wonderful time when you go out with someone. All right. And we're going to have fun with it. So again, call everybody in, get your pen, get your paper, take some notes. When you're home by yourself, you can actually look at those notes, review them, write some tips down. We're giving you good stuff, y'all. So here we go. Without any further ado, let's get in. Dating. Give us some tips as how we can go about getting this dating process started. Here you go, Dree. Take it away.
Okay, wow, this is such an exciting topic, as Ms. Dawn said. It's exciting. Think about meeting someone new for the first time. Things that you think about is, what am I going to wear? Where am I going to go? How do I even act? So it's kind of scary. It's exciting, but scary at the same time. So what about on the first date? Okay, when you meet that special person or when you meet that someone, so you're going to greet that person with a warm, friendly smile. Of course, as we said before, your parents must be sharp. Make sure you put on your best to do, right? And be confident, have self-confidence. Be yourself. That's most important. You don't need to put on, you don't need to act. Don't be someone who you're not. Be yourself. Okay, pay attention to body language. That's a super important one. Pay attention to body language. When you're engaging in conversation, make it be a conversation that is meaningful, right? Not boring, excited, fun. Talk about maybe your day, something exciting. Just get to know that person, one-on-one basis. And make it fun, make it interesting. And then think about also on your date, where am I going to go? Where places that, we can go for a first date. So I'm just going to I just have a little, a few little places that I thought of. to go on a first date? Botanical gardens. Especially now. It's springtime, smell the fresh roses, see all the beautiful flowers. You know, this gives you the experience to not to be too intimate, but get to learn nature with each other.
Ooh.
Bring in the new season. All right. So how about cooking? Cooking it and baking. You can go on a date doing cooking and baking. You're being around other couples too. And that will give you an opportunity to see how that person reacts, you know, among some other couples too. That's exciting. As a matter of fact, I did that when I was dating my husband I have now, but before, when we were dating, we went to a cooking show together, which was so nice. Yes, that was super nice. And that's when I found out he was actually vegetarian.
Ooh.
So, yes. So, and again, so another place that I thought about, how about karaoke? That's one of my favorites. Karaoke night, fun and festive, right? Not boring. So that's and if you want to do something else that can help the community, how about volunteering together? See what that person, you can tell a lot by a person's interest by volunteering. You know, how passionate he is with people or even animals, cleaning up the community, you know, going to take care of sick animals, helping out that date. That tells a lot about a person. So these are some of the fun facts, fun tricks, fun places that, you know, you can go. Dinner is the normal thing. Everybody does a dinner and a movie, you know, that gets redundant. So dinner is something else you can do if you feel that the other options are not, open to the other options that I mentioned before. Dinner and a movie always works, right? But sometimes when you do dinner, it gets too crowded. It's so crowded, and the noise, you can't really get to engage into good communication with each other. So you need to think about that too. And maybe sometimes the movie can be a little too intimate. So I would say kind of like stay away from that. But a lot of people, the first option is dinner and movie. So LaWanda, what you have?
So, and it's so funny because one of the things that I really just thought about something you said was, especially with the confident, you really want to be confident. Even if you're not, let me help you, fake it till you make it. Because you don't want them to seem like you have low self-esteem, you struggling, because this is the first date. First impressions last a long, 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 long time. And what happens is you don't realize that it's signaling something, and they're sitting there and they're like, oh, wait a minute. Now she's struggling with her confidence. She barely talks, or he barely says anything. I have to talk the whole night. Certain things you don't realize it, but when I tell you, it triggers. And it reminded me, it took me back to something where we went, for me, like we went bowling. Bowling is always good. You're never going to go wrong with bowling. Dave and Buster's, you're never going to go wrong because it's people. And those are things you're going to find out. Are they boring? You need to know from the door, are they boring? You need to know, do they like to go? Are they adventurous? You're going to determine a lot of things. Now, if you go, let's say an example to bowling, and hello, basically, he or she is just sitting there. You're the only one bowling the ball. No. Okay, wait a minute. We have a problem. So there's certain things that can cause us to really say, okay, you know what? There will not be a second date. And no, we want you to have a second date. Okay? No, we don't want you to turn off. So one of the other things that I was really thinking about was when we're talking about independence, because to a certain extent, if you want them to see that you do have a certain amount of independence, because when they begin to see that, they can tell whether, first of all, you're good at managing money. There's a lot of things that can determine that. They can tell whether you're needy. Nobody wants a needy person. Trust me, needy, no. Because needy is turn off. Yep. Even if you are needy, they don't need to know you needy on the first date. No. Needy needs to be behind the scenes. And if you know that you're just a little needy, that's something you're going to deal with off the side. But they don't need to know that that's where you are from the first date, because that's just a turn off. So you want to put yourself out there, but to the certain extent where they get to find out who you are. It's your date. It's almost like you're doing an interview. It's your first date. First, I'm telling you, if you mess up on that first impression, it's hard to recover. You can do it, but it can definitely be very difficult and challenging to definitely recover, because we want you to have a second date. And not just that, when we're going through this, it determines too whether you're selfish. That person can tell whether you are selfish or not. They can tell if you're the one where, do you want them to pay the whole bill? Okay, come on. You don't know me, I don't know you. But if we're there and now they offer, that's different because you offered it. So then I'm good. I'm not going to argue with you. Okay, we're good. Because then maybe go on a second date, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Until we become comfortable and we really get to know exactly where we're going from here, but we don't want to assume. And assumption is really just messed up things sometimes. So for me, I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? We're dating, and dating is exciting. Dating is exciting. I mean, I used to get excited about getting dressed. I don't know about anybody else. There would be times, I'll tell you, I would have my clothes laid out like 2 and 3 days ahead of time. They didn't know that though. But I had it laid out. I said, oh, you know what? I'm wearing them shoes. I'm wearing them jeans. Oh, honey. And and I'm going to have my hand stuff done. Oh, I'm getting it done. I would go 2 days before to go get my hair done. Nails was done the day before, because I knew you had one shot to nail it. They're looking at you for a certain amount of hours. Come on. Let's pull it together, so it was really good. And I realized that, you know what? Dating was exciting, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you should be excited, especially if you're getting ready to get back on the dating scene. Definitely.
I like that. Oh my gosh. Both of you guys made so much great points. I like the fact that Dree, I don't know about this cooking thing. That's very different and that's very exciting. And you made a very good point, because you said that it was then that you found out he was a vegetarian. You know what I mean? So there's some things that you'll find out about someone when you're in different settings, because you're so right. LaWanda, when you're going out on a date and you go into to the sit down dinner and whatever the case may be, you're sitting there, and yes, you may be a little bit shy, because sometimes you're a little bit, you're a little bit shy, a little bit timid to even start a conversation, because some people are not outgoing. See, I'm not an outgoing person. My husband is very outgoing. So I wouldn't really strike up a conversation, off the bat. But, if you find a place where, at the botanical gardens, as Dree said, bowling and everything like that, it's where you cannot do anything but to talk. Mm-hmm. The flowers in the botanical garden makes it so that you have to say something. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my goodness, look, these are beautiful. Even if it's just an opening line, you must have something to contribute to a conversation. Roses, go and look in the roses, the different color roses and stuff. You must have something to talk about. And even if you go, to a restaurant and you don't feel comfortable, he may be the one to say, start talking. But then you also have to have something to contribute to the conversation. In the last session, we said you have to educate yourself about what is going on. There's so much that's going on in the news, and you don't want it to be somber. You don't want it to be sad. There's so many things going on out there that it is so exciting. And then Dream made a good point about, going to the movies. And sometimes you choose to go to the movies. The movies, you're focused. You're not even, looking at each other. It's dark. You're watching the movie, and it's like, okay, well, what did I learn about him? Nothing, because you're watching a movie, and before the night is over, you're like, okay, is there gonna be a second night, or this is what we're gonna continue doing? Going to the movies? I don't even know your name. What's your full name? You know what I mean? And the one that I like, that get excited, because getting to know someone for the first time, it's, yes, as Dree said, can be a little bit scary, but at the same time too, very exciting, because it's a new adventure, it's a new challenge. And who doesn't like a challenge? Especially when that person asks you out. And because the way you carried yourself, and for that person to say, okay, the person must see something in you. Think about it. The person, you probably went down to the meat aisle and you probably, oh, well, maybe she can cook or, something. Maybe she can do something. But it's probably the way you dress, because the first sight, the first thing that a man would see would be your outward appearance. We've said that before. He's not going to think of, I wonder if she's secure. I wonder if she have low self-esteem. He's not going to go through all of that. The first thing he sees is the way you're dressed. If you are attractive, your nails are done. Remember, you're here, like LaWanda, she gets excited. Keep it up. Keep up the good work that you're doing. Last time we told you about writing the things down that you like, and things you don't like, the things that you want in a man, and things that you do not want. And we also said, we just said at the top of the hour, don't look for Mr. Perfect and don't look for Mrs. Perfect either. There's no such thing. There is no such thing as a perfect person. So stop being so picky about, this person. Oh, his hairline is too far back. Oh, his shoes didn't tie right. Oh, him, he need a dental work. Guess what? It's okay. Somebody will fix you up. Men is not all lost. There's women out there who wouldn't mind taking that on, because this is a diamond in the rough. You may need a little bit of tweaking. You may need to tuck that shirt in a little bit, and you may be rough around the edges a little bit. But if you see the beauty in this person, that person will treat you right. That person who will respect you. That person will open the door for you, who will provide for you. You're looking for someone who will bring security. You understand me? Yes, you can handle your own. The one that talks about independence, you can handle your own. But then when you see that person, that very person that you looked on or you frown upon could be the very person that God sent into your life to make your life for you to be the best. That person will be the best husband that you never knew you could ever had. That person. So what if his shoes is a little bit brown? It should be black. No, I'm serious. There's a shoe shine down the road. Oh, come on. Come on, ladies. Don't stress over this. Don't read too much into it. Stop stressing over the little things. Don't be so picky, because you'll pick at everything and you become like, oh, well, you know what? I don't want to go out with that guy because look at how he's dressed, or look at what he's wearing, or what have you. Guess what happened? Pick him up. If you ask her for a date, and if it's, pray about it. The Lord will direct your pathway. Okay? Because trust me, you never know who that person is. And the lady said so much great points. I love the fact that LaWanda said, be independent. Get the needy attitude out away from you. Needy. What's that? That should not be in your vocabulary, y'all. Come on. You should know. Be self-confident. Have that confidence within yourself that, you know what? You can do this. You may be shy, but you can do this. It's been a long time, but you can do this. You might be a little bit nervous. It's a good nervous. You can do this. And okay, LaWanda, who pays?
Oh, it's so funny. Because when you've been on so many dates and, you've experienced this, it's so funny because I've seen it several ways. I have been on it where we've gone Dutch, where we've split it, and then I've also been on to where they've offered, to pay for it. When I went to my wallet, went to my pocketbook, they were like, no, I got it. It's okay. It's taken care of, because see, then you notice that, because then they notice, oh, okay. So maybe she's really not stingy. She's not selfish. Okay. You know what? Let me go pay for it. So little things, but I realize that I have seen it both ways. Some people feel more comfortable if they split it. They just say, okay, that's our first date, but the second one might be different. Your first, you might split it, but your second one, either one of you might pick it up, and then, depending on who it is, it depends on the situation, because sometimes we go in with this mindset, okay, you know what? I'm the woman, I'm going on this date, and you know what? he's going to pay for it. But you know what? Maybe he's not going to do that. See, we assume that, but that's not good because he might not do that. So, you have to get away from that and just be prepared. You need to be prepared either way. Now, if you're going out, you need to have some money in your pocket. You need to have a backup, because what happens when you decide, okay, what happens if he decides that he's not going to pay and you don't have no money on you? What happens? It's a thought.
Wash dishes.
Hey, girls, it's a thought, right? Am I wrong? Come on, am I wrong? Because I've seen that happen too. I've seen it in movies. I've seen it on shows where they assume that the person was going to pay and they realize, oh, I have no money. Oh my goodness, how am I going to pay for this? And they walk away and leave them sitting there. Do not do that. Regardless of the fact, I was always taught you always have your own money. Put it in your bag. You have it no matter, because you might have to get a cab home. You might have to get an Uber. Make sure, because you don't know that person, you might need to get away from them because you don't know what's going on. So you need to be ready at all times. So I know for me, I realize that I have seen it both ways. You will figure once you get there, you'll know exactly what you're going to do and which way everybody is going to flow. So I've definitely seen it where we split it, and then also where one of us took it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think that you should go prepared. Just go prepared, because you just never know. Don't assume that gentleman who's taking you out who have asked you out is going to pay. You don't know. So be prepared. Back in the days, predominantly males, they used to be be the person to pay on the first date, right? Or pay for all the dates. But in today's society, women are stepping up. They're digging in their purses. They're paying for, and I see nothing wrong with that. I really don't. I mean, it doesn't make you, some people may feel it makes you less of a man if the female is paying, but I don't see it that way. To me, personally, I think a female can step up on their games too. I feel that. I mean,
okay, I'm gonna be weird right here. What if this is a question, I know we've never done this before, but this is very interesting, right? What if the woman is making more than the man in terms of salary?
Okay.
Who pays on every date? Well, okay. All right. So let me put it this way. Not on every date. I know that he has to bring something. He has to bring something. But what if on the first date, Dre said, on the first date, you're so used to the man is so used to back in the day, yes, so used to paying, opening the door and all that stuff. But what if the woman is the one with the car, and the woman is the one who is driving, and the woman is the one who makes more money? Of course, he probably would not know that. And he asked her out. So do you think that if he asked her out, if he should pay?
Well, you know what? Let's go back for a second, because he did ask her out. So even if she is making that kind of money, and because of the fact he doesn't want to seem like he doesn't have it together. You see what I'm saying? So he might not make that kind of money, but the mere fact that you have a job. Do you have a job? Yes. Do you? That's important. So to him, he feels like if I'm taking you out, then that means I can afford to take you out. You understand what I'm saying? He's saying, okay, I'm asking you out, because back in the days, like we said, growing up, we always knew that, okay, they ask me out, then that means that they're prepared to take care of me. They can afford to take me out, because honestly, tell you the truth, and I can go back for a quick minute. I was dating this guy, and let me tell you something. There was times we wouldn't go out because you know what he said to me? I don't have the money yet. He said, but I'll have it the next week, and then we can go out. Because he was so determined, he did not want me to have to pay anything on that bill. He said, let's wait till next week. And you know what? I'll take you out next week because I'll have the money. And that's what we did. That's how we did it. So I never ended up having to pay dating him at all, because we always just worked around how it worked for him, because he wanted to step up to it. So, and I was good with that. So those things happen too.
I like that. I like, that's a good one, because we're, like Dre said, we're living in a society now where some women do make more money than, some men. And of course, you have the independence, like you talk about, Lawanda. You have that independence where some women feel that, oh, well, you know what, I could handle my own. But the drawback to that, and this is my opinion, the only drawback to that is if a man sees that you are stepping up to doing everything. It's like, wait a minute, she's taking care of everything? Is she controlling? When am I going to be able to be everything? You know what I mean? How am I going to be able to show her that I can, you're independent and you don't need me. You know what I mean? How am I going to show her that I could really take care of this? You're working, of course, by the time you guys get to the first date, I'm sure you have some sort of conversation, prior to the date, so you probably might know where he works, or, vice versa. So if she's constantly stepping up, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Some men would mind, but I'm sure at some point the man will probably say, wait a minute, dating for me right now, she's a beautiful woman and everything like that. She's a career going, everything is going good, but she's always doing this. And I want to be able to feel like, I can provide, or I can, take her out on a date, not the vice versa, where she's the one who's constantly doing everything. She may feel comfortable doing that, but then how would that guy feel with her constantly stepping up and doing everything? And then when he would step up and say, okay, don't worry, I got it. It'd be like, oh, no, don't worry about it, I got this. As a man, no, let's put ourselves in a man's position. How would you think that man would feel?
Well, you're right. And even though that female feels as if she makes more money, or she's more successful than the male is, back down a little bit. Don't let him feel less than a man. Back down. Give him the opportunity to, step up to the plate. He may not be able to take you out to a fancy restaurant, but he can take you somewhere else that is less, expensive. So don't be dominant in that area. You can do it first time, second time, yes, it's okay. But if it's something consistently, I think, should back down a little bit. Give him the opportunity to step up.
I like that. I like that. Lawanda said something that was so profound. You said that it was, you want the independence. The independence is good, but the man also want to feel that, I could handle this. Dre said it so clearly as well. I could do this, going Dutch. I never thought of that. I never thought of going Dutch. I might be out of the game for a long time.
And I think it's so funny, because one of the things I thought about real quick doing that was, I thought about how many times different things can determine different things, because especially when you're seeing who's going to pay and who's going to do, but then also too, you get to find out whether they're cheap or not. You get to find out, because when it comes time for the tip, that's how you gonna know. You're gonna know, you will know. Trust me when I tell you. So you will find out who you are dealing with, okay? Because you can't tell me that you have $100 bill and you want to leave a $2 tip. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. So, trust me, been on those kind of dates. That's why. And it's crazy, because I have been on them where what I had to do was, I was like, okay, this is not going to be good, because the bill was so expensive, and I've got to find a way to get this tip to them. No, I cannot. We cannot leave. And sometimes you've had to step up and find other ways to get it to the person that served you. So, but you get to find out different things, but definitely, yeah, it's important, especially in this day and time. And some things are based, especially when we're talking about tipping, because on some cultures, depends on what it is, they're not used to that. They're not accustomed to that. But then there are some that are accustomed to it. And they know automatically, okay, you know what? Because see, now you notice on these bills, the tipping is right on the end of the bill. Am I wrong? Sometimes it's on the bill already. Sometimes they include it in the bill already. It's like an expectation. It's like they're sitting there like, okay, you know what? Whether you do it or not, we're gonna include it in the bill. So
And you're right, you're definitely right, because I've seen it. I can testify to that. They have even simple things that's getting a haircut. The tip is already included.
Oh,
Yeah, that's 6% automatically. So I get it.
because the one you said something that was so so interesting. But one thing that you can do is, like, say for instance, that if the gentleman stepped up to pay the bill, you can, if you want to split it, you can say, well, I'll take you the tip.
Oh,
And even though the tip is in the bill, they have the amount. The amount is there. And then they'll have maybe the 12%, the 15%. They'll break it down that way. And then you can circle which one that you want to do. And then instead of putting it on the bill, you can actually, find a way. That's a good way of doing it. If, you want to go ahead and you say, you know what? Okay, you have $100. You want to leave $2? No, but I'll take care of the tip. That's okay. Listen, the bill was a lot. I'll take care of this tip. Nicely, gingerly, so that he would not feel like, oh, you're being cheap with that $2. You know what I mean? That's a nice way of saying that. He said, listen, this bill was a lot, and I appreciate this dinner was so good. I'll take you. I got the tip. Don't worry about it. I got the tip. We're doing this thing together. And then that will even bring together. Hey, that's a nice word. We're doing this thing together. So what that's saying is that, okay, well, maybe a second date wouldn't be bad after all, but you can turn around and you can leave that tip on the table, so that he would not have to take care of that. And that will kind of solve that $2 that you want to put on the table. And in that way, you want to go Dutch or what the case can be, and he insists on paying, then you want to do something, take you the tip. And that is very good, because it shows that, okay, she's not bad. She can handle her own. That speaks, the little things that you do on a first date speaks volumes.
Yeah, and you're right, Dawn. And you know what, too? If you have decided to go out on a dinner date, and you don't have the funds to cover a dinner date, you never know what that person may order, right? So think outside of the box. How about we meet in the park and we have a little picnic? That's not so expensive. Both of us, we're sharing. So again, it comes in, we're sharing togetherness. We're doing this together. So that's a good idea too. That's less expensive. You don't have to think about tipping anyone.
That's true. I like that, Dree. And you know what? I thought was another one good. Not that we're promoting them, but you'll never go wrong with Starbucks either. You'll never go places. You'll never go wrong with that, because so many people meet there. So many people have been on first dates there. And they met there. They said, okay, you know what? Hey, I get a coffee, Danish, whatever. Okay, I'm not spending a whole bunch of money. So this way I'll know whether I'm going to take you to the next restaurant, which is going to be a nice restaurant. So sometimes people will do that just to see how that first date is going to go. And that's okay, because that's cost effective, and I like that, I like that, Drew. Like you said, to pick things that don't have to cost so much money, but then this way you'll find out, and I think it can work, but still you say, okay, so just in case it doesn't go good, you don't feel bad that you spend so much money.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hey, it's just a tip. Hey, try it. If it works, great. You move on to the next thing. If not, then at least I only wasted $10, maybe $12. So then I don't feel so bad.
I like that. That is so good. I mean, I'm going to tell you this one. I won't call it a date. I'll call it we broke bread. I remembered when Phil and I, of course, when we started talking, we're not even dating yet, but we wanted to, it was a Sunday, and Sunday morning before church, and it was, we call it, we breaking bread together. We literally broke bread together. And we went to, was it Dunkin' Donuts before church? And and I was checking him out too. I was checking him out, I did, and then, it was so, because we didn't have much time, but we wanted to do something. We wanted to do something. We didn't have much time. It was just before church, and he wanted coffee, and I said, okay, I'll have tea or what have you. And then I think I got a bagel, whatever the case may be. And we spoke for a few minutes. We broke bread together, and that may sound old fashioned, but that's what we did. But it was so interesting. We had such a good time. This was like space of time that we were there, and then of course from then we went out to other places. But I was checking him out. I was like, okay. He opened the door and all that good stuff, and I'm like, okay, he all right. You passed, he's kind of cute looking, I think I hold on to this one. Hello, somebody.
Yep, there you go. So it's the little things that count. That little time breaking bread together. Got you some, a little moment to just check him out physically, check him out to see his mannerism.
Yes. You get to know. I'm telling you, you get to size them. Like they say nowadays, they say size them up. And it's so funny because my mom was so funny. She used to always say, "You're gonna know whether he's cheap. Look at his shoes." She said, "Look at his shoes. You're gonna know whether he's cheap." Oh, really? So I would go on dates and I would start looking at their shoes to see. I said, that's it. But actually, in my mind, that's all I kept seeing. I would look at their shoes first to see whether they were cheap or not. But it's true, but those things matter. It's the little things. But like we said, you want to have a good time. That's why you're going on a date, to have a good time.
But yeah, so the next tip is make sure he's wearing alligator shoes. Okay, make sure he's wearing the right pair of shoes. It must be alligator because them some expensive shoes.
Look for the alligator.
And the green suit.
And please make sure the sole of the shoe is on the shoe. Please make sure the sole of the shoe, the bottom of that shoe is not missing, because you have a problem, honey. Trust me, there's a problem. No. Trust me, honey. You can't get into it and then say, "Oh, I didn't realize it." Okay, hello. And it goes both ways for him and for her. Oh, we're talking, it's going both ways for her too. For the man, check out her shoe.
Yeah.
It's going both ways. Yes, honey, let me tell you something. It tells a lot. I didn't realize it until my mother said it, and she was absolutely correct. So I'm like, okay.
No wonder, that is too funny. Oh my goodness, I'm in tears right here. You guys crack me up today. Oh Lord, I'm never gonna get that. I'm never gonna forget this. Check out their shoes, whether it's an alligator, put duct tape in it, make sure there's a green suit too. ladies, it's been a wonderful session.
Yes, you want to make sure, because if you think about it, because if he had to put tape on the hem of his pants and he's walking and part of the pants is hanging down because the hem, the tape didn't hold, that's a problem. That's a problem. So we have to look, these are little things that they make a difference. Trust me, they will make a difference later.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I have to compose myself. But duct tape at the
Duct tape? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But these are things you don't realize it, but it happens. Trust me, it happens.
I would never forget that. I would never forget that. I would never forget that. Ladies, listen, we gave you a lot We gave you so much stuff. You see, dating is fun. You know, hanging out is fun. Make life fun. Life does not have to be so serious all the time. There's so much, going on in the world right now, for you to get serious with. But just enjoy your life. The next day you go on and just think about those red alligator shoes that's there, okay? Just make sure that you have fun. All right? We're having fun. We hope that you enjoyed this session tonight because we surely did.
Yes.
And we're all about empowering you
Yes.
to live life. So
Yes.
until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
So here we go again, it's no surprise. Cause we know better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5. If you want more than to stay alive, so come on over, we can make it through.